My name's Steve. This happens to be Classified Captures. We got aliens on this episode. We got ghosties. We got animals that resemble humans but not quite. We got all sorts of stuff. Now what say we get on with the episode, huh? There's a video making the rounds from an alleyway in Philadelphia, and it starts with a moment that would make anyone pause. A man was walking down the street when he heard a strange yelping sound, something that almost felt like a wounded animal calling out. Curious and uneasy, he pulled out his phone and followed the noise into a dark alley. As he moved closer, the camera caught sight of a strange-looking dog crouched in the corner. When the animal finally raised its head, its mouth stretched into what looked like a smile. The expression was unsettling, almost human. Before he could get a better look, the creature suddenly lunged. The man bolted out of the alley just in time. The clip is intense. The animal resembles a black dog, but its movements and facial expressions seem off in a way that's hard to explain. Some people insist it's simply a feral dog that might be injured or sick, which would account for the bizarre behavior. Others claim it matches descriptions of a skinwalker, a creature said to mimic animals while moving in ways that defy normal instincts. That possibility is what has people talking. What do you think this really was? A distressed animal on the edge, or something that challenges what we believe is out there? There's a video circulating online that has left a lot of people confused and uneasy. A man was driving home with his family after a night out when they passed their neighbor's house and noticed something that immediately caught their attention. Their neighbor, a woman who had just stepped out of a car, was moving in a way that didn't look natural at all. Right before the recording started, they saw her put something in her mouth, though they couldn't tell what it was. Whatever it was, her entire posture and movement changed the moment she got out of the car. She began walking with a stiff, robotic motion. Her legs waddled like a duck, yet her upper body stayed strangely locked in place. Her arms were stretched out on both sides, almost as if an invisible force was directing her steps. It looked eerily similar to the way characters move in older video games, where the animations glitch and loop in on unsettling rhythm. Concerned, the driver honked to get her attention. When she turned around, the movement became even more unnerving. Her face looked human but not quite right, as if the expression didn't match the moment. Something about it felt uncanny, like a mask that was not sitting properly. Some people believe she might have taken a substance that caused the strange behavior. Others think it could be a medical situation. But a growing number of people online are comparing it to those NPC moments they are saying are becoming more noticeable lately. What do you make of it? Are we simply witnessing someone having a difficult moment, or is this another example of the odd and unexplained behaviors that seem to be appearing more often these days?
Va para adentro.
Mírala.
Dale, pitale. Pitale.
Mírate.
Le dieron algo en la droga.
Every now and then, a post on Reddit slips past the usual chaos and hits you in a place you're not ready for. It happened in a thread where someone asked users to confess the worst thing that they had ever done. Most of the replies were predictable, the kind of mistakes people carry quietly. Then one comment changed the entire tone of the discussion. A man admitted he'd been involved in a hit-and-run back in 1996. According to him, the crash killed a young mother and left her baby seriously injured. He wrote that he escaped any legal consequences, and the way he described it was called almost casual. No apology, no remorse, just a confession delivered like a passing thought. The reaction was immediate. People were furious. Some were grieving for a woman they never met. Others tried to identify him, but nothing about it felt real enough to bring justice, and yet it still felt too real to ignore. It raises a troubling question. When someone hides behind a screen and admits to something unforgivable, well, what does that confession actually mean? Does anonymity strip away the fear of judgment or reveal who a person truly is? And if this is the kind of truth that surfaces in a simple thread, well, how many others like it are tucked quietly behind the posts we scroll through every day? Imagine wanting a child so deeply that you turn to science for help. Well, many people do. They try insemination, IVF, or surrogates, and in those cases, the child may not be fully aware of their genetics. Sometimes the baby ends up looking nothing like the parents, and while some try to be selective with donors, there's only so much one can control. But now a company called Nucleus Genomics is pushing that idea into a new and controversial territory. They have released what is being called the first ad campaign for gene-edited design concepts. The software lets you browse through potential traits for a future child before implantation. You can sit down, scroll through a list of characteristics, and choose what you want, all of it guided by AI. Some people see this as a breakthrough, a way to feel more involved in shaping their future family. Others see something unsettling about it, a step into a world where humans try to orchestrate life at a level once left to nature. When AI starts guiding decisions about how a child should look and what traits they should have, the ethical line begins to blur. Visitors to the company's website notice that the official language still focuses on genetic testing. That's the term they're using, at least for now. But that phrasing is exactly what raises concerns. Testing often becomes modifying, and once the foundation is built, the next leap is rarely far behind. It leaves us with a question that grows louder every year. If we open the door to design genetics, how long before choosing traits becomes the norm rather than the exception? Just when you think the internet cannot surprise you anymore, along comes a man who swears he unlocked superpowers by spraying dog medication on his hands. Yeah, actual dog medicine. He claims he's been doing this for more than 2 years, spraying the product not only on his hands but on different parts of his body. And ever since then, he believes he can conduct electricity, control fire, and perform all kinds of strange feats. In the video he shared, he waves his hands over sheets of aluminium foil, and the foil really does shift and move. He insists it's proof of his new abilities, but there's a much bigger question here. Could the spray contain a chemical that interacts with static electricity, humidity, or the surface around him? Because gaining superpowers from a pet product doesn't sound even remotely realistic. If a simple dog medication could unlock extraordinary abilities, well, it would not be sitting on a shelf in a regular store. Scientists would be all over it. So what are we actually looking at here? A natural reaction, a clever trick, or a little bit of wishful thinking wrapped in dramatic footage?
This is day one of me spraying dog medicine on my hands to make them tougher. Now, this was originally developed for dogs. Day 765 of spraying dog medicine on my hands to make them tougher. I can now levitate aluminum foil.
Good God. If that can work with any kind of cream or medication that you give your dog, I'm gonna get the worming pills that I have to give my dog and see if I can climb up walls like Spider-Man. There's a video going around that has a lot of people talking. A group of friends were hanging out late at night in a small community in Mexico when they saw something move behind a pole near a patch of brush. At first it looked like nothing more than a shadow slipping through the trees, but they could not shake the feeling that something was there. Then, slowly, a head peeked out from behind the pole. When you zoom in, you can see a pale face with round dark eyes staring straight at them. The size makes it even stranger. Whatever this figure is, it looks small, almost like a dwarf, yet the features don't look fully human. That's why people immediately began calling it a duende. Mexico has a long history of duende stories, especially in rural places where encounters like this have been told for generations. Now the debate has started. Some believe the video shows a real duende watching from the trees. Others think it could be a person, an animal, or even a trick of the light that only looks eerie because of the shadows. The footage is clear enough to grab your attention, but just blurry enough to leave doubts. In the end, everyone is left with the same question. Did these friends capture a piece of folklore on camera, or is this one more mystery that the night refuses to explain?
A la verga, güey, ¿qué es eso, güey? Esa mierda. A la mierda.
A video from Medellin, Colombia is making people stop and look twice. Someone recorded something unusual in the night sky, and whatever it was seemed to be drifting slowly over the city. The camera focuses on a triangular craft that turns in a slow, steady rotation. The object looks far too large to be a drone. The distance, the height, and the smooth movement don't match the behavior of any commercial drone. And it clearly is not a helicopter, a plane, or anything that shows the usual lights or flight patterns we know. All of that leaves one big question. What exactly did they capture above Medellin? Someone pulls something out of the ocean that has the internet arguing. It looks like a massive catfish, but not the kind anyone has seen before. Its body is covered in thick scales, and two horns rise from its head. Some people tried to call it an armor catfish, but let's be honest, it doesn't look anything like one. The shape is different, the features are different, and the horns alone break the comparison. Right now, no one can say for certain what the thing is. Some believe it's an AI creation, but others think it might be a real creature from the deep. And that possibility is not as strange as it sounds. The ocean is enormous, and most of it remains unexplored. New species are discovered every year, especially in the darker layers far below where sunlight can reach. There are also theories. Some people think military experiments or chemical exposure could be changing sea life. Others believe ancient species are being pushed upward because of climate change or shifting ocean currents. In the world where the ocean still holds so many secrets, the idea of this being real is not impossible. So what are we looking at? A genuine creature rising from the unknown depths, or a clever creation designed to fool the internet? A woman in Arizona was sitting at home one afternoon watching TV when something on the screen stopped her cold. The program was covering an anatomical exhibition in Las Vegas where real plastinated human bodies are displayed for the public. As the camera panned across one of the exhibits, she froze. She recognized the face. It was her son. Christopher Todd Eric, who had died just at 23 during a mental health crisis, had been declared unclaimed because of a filing mistake. She was listed as an emergency contact, yet somehow the paperwork failed. Instead of being returned to his family for a proper burial, his body had been transferred, preserved, and put on display for the public to see. Imagine learning years later through a TV show that your child's body had been turned into an exhibit. Now she's in a legal battle, fighting simply to retrieve her son's remains and give him the dignity of a proper burial. Many people willingly donate their bodies to science or educational programs, but this was neither a donation nor consent. It was an administrative failure with devastating consequences. How would you feel if you were in her place, discovering something like this on television? Man, how could that not haunt you for the rest of your life? God. Crazy. 2025 has already been one of the most chaotic years for the United States. And just when people might have expected to relax and enjoy the holiday season, nature had other plans. A mysterious radiation fog has been spreading across California, and officials warn that it's hazardous. This is no ordinary fog. Known as tool fog, it stretches nearly 400 miles across the entire Central Valley and has been lingering for days. Reports suggest it could last right into the festive season, creating dangerous conditions for anyone traveling or moving around the area. Unlike regular mist, this fog carries tiny particles that can pass through the skin and into the lungs, making prolonged exposure a serious health risk. Visibility is low, the air quality is poor, and anxiety is rising across communities caught in its path. Radiation fog forms when the ground cools rapidly at night, trapping moisture close to the surface. In this case, the consequences go beyond poor visibility. It's a hazard that people cannot ignore. If you're in California, take every precaution, stay indoors as much as possible, and stay alert. The holidays may be near, but safety has to come first. Can anyone make sense of this? A woman was hiking through a mountain area when she noticed something unusual high above her. A plane flew overhead, leaving a streak of fumes behind it, the way planes normally do. But then it gets strange. The fumes cut off at a very specific point in the sky, almost as if someone drew a line and stopped it there. And from that exact cutoff point, a long dark shadow stretches across the mountains below. That's where the confusion begins. How would a plane's fumes create a perfectly straight shadow like that? Do they even cast shadows in that way? Some people think it might be an illusion caused by the angle of the sunlight. Others believe the shadow looks too defined and too intentional, almost like it's coming from something we cannot see. And of course, the theories show up. Hidden objects, cloaked crafts, things passing through the clouds without being visible to the eye. So what are we looking at? A rare atmospheric trick of light, or a shadow being cast by something moving through the sky that the camera couldn't catch?
Okay, in my whole life I've never seen this. This is a shadow on the mountain from the exhaust from that plane. That's insane. Oh yeah, I've never seen that before.
On December the 9th, Chinese astronauts stepped outside their spacecraft for a spacewalk, and the entire mission was live-streamed. Once the footage appeared online, people started talking, but not about the astronauts. What caught everyone's attention was the shape of the Earth in the background. In most spacewalk footage from American astronauts, the Earth appears as a clear curved sphere, just as we've always been taught. But in the Chinese livestream, many viewers claim they could not see any curvature at all. The planet looked flat, almost stretched out, sparking debates about flat Earth theories and the authenticity of space travel. Others disagree. Some say the curvature is visible, just not as pronounced as in NASA's footage. The difference could simply be the cameras. Perhaps the Chinese mission used a lens that doesn't capture the full curve, while NASA often uses wider lenses that make the curvature more obvious. So when you watch the footage, what do you see? A flat stretch of Earth or a subtle curve that just looks different because of the camera? Hotels might look clean and ordinary on the surface, but they hold more secrets than we like to admit. Before you walk into any room, countless strangers have already slept there, argued there, cried there, and carried their own energy into that space. You've no idea what you're stepping into. A woman from the United Kingdom recently traveled and checked into what seemed like a normal hotel room, but almost immediately she felt something was wrong. It started with a gentle knocking on a door. She walked over, opened it, and found nothing. No footsteps, no voices, just a strange echo drifting through the hallway. She closed the door, stood there for a moment, and the knocking came again while she was still right beside it. That was when she called the hotel staff to report that something about the room felt unsettling. But that was only the beginning. Later that night, she discovered that the clothes she'd carefully arranged in the wardrobe were now on the floor. These were clothes she'd hung neatly, and she insisted the wardrobe was sturdy. There was no breeze, no vibration, nothing that could have caused the hangers to fall, yet everything was scattered. Now she's convinced the room is haunted or that something unseen is sharing that space with her. And honestly, with the amount of history that passes through hotel walls, well, this kind of encounters, they're not shocking at all.
Hello? Oh, fucking hell. Hello? Hello?
I want to have a competition at this particular point, and let's weigh up to see how many people think the Earth is round or whether the Earth is flat. Leave that in the comments section. I'll be really interested to see how many flat earthers we actually have in this community. Someone recently shared a video that's confusing a lot of people. It shows what looks like an actual rip in the sky. There's this dark, tear-shaped line running across the clouds, and at first glance it feels impossible because the sky's not something that can physically split open. But if you've been following the strange stories we talk about here, nothing feels too unbelievable anymore. We've heard about portals, alternate dimensions, and atmospheric events that defy simple explanations. So to some viewers, this dark line looked like something trying to open above the clouds. Others are not convinced. Some say it might be a camera issue or dirt on the lens because certain smudges can look like cracks when the light hits at a certain angle. A few people think it could be a shadow from an object in the sky that the camera didn't fully capture. And of course, there are those who believe the clip might be edited. But the idea of a real tear in the sky is what makes people pause. If something like that ever turned out to be genuine, well, it would completely change our understanding of the atmosphere and everything above us. So what do you think we're looking at here? A natural illusion, a simple camera glitch, or something far stranger? This photo was taken inside a hospital, and even though it's blurry, you can still make out what looks like a dark, twisted, almost demon-like figure standing right over a patient's bed. According to the story, the person lying there passed away shortly after this shape appeared. Hospitals witness death every single day. They're places where emotions, fear, energy, and the unexplained constantly overlap. So it's no surprise that people begin to speculate. Some believe this image shows exactly what it seems to show, something not human standing over someone who was about to cross over. Others insist there is a simpler explanation. It could easily be a camera issue caused by weak lighting, motion blur, overlapping shadows, or a figure moving at just the right moment to create a disturbing illusion. So tell me, what do you see? An eyewitness in New York filmed something that has everyone talking. A large truck was moving through the streets with a transparent container loaded onto its back. At first glance, it looked like ordinary industrial cargo, well, nothing unusual. But when you look closely at the glass panel, you can clearly see a massive human-like hand pressed against it. And the size of that hand is unsettling. If the hand is truly that large, then we have to wonder what kind of being it belongs to. It's far beyond the scale of any normal person. Still, before jumping to wild conclusions, there's a chance that this is simply a prop. It could be part of a film set, an art piece, or some kind of promotional display. Except there is one detail that makes the whole thing even stranger. The truck is labeled Gen Labs. Gen Labs is not the kind of company that would parade something like this through New York City. Operations like that usually work quietly and keep their work hidden from the public. So why would they transport something so unusual in broad daylight with a clear window exposing everything inside? Some viewers think the video might be AI generated, others believe it could be a very realistic prop, and of course there are people who think it might be something real. But what do you think? Some remarkable news is coming out of Tokyo, Japan. The suicide rate has dropped drastically by 84%. And this change comes after Japan installed blue lights at Tokyo metro stations. The story is fascinating because Japan has struggled with high suicide rates for decades, and subway stations have long been known as hotspots for this tragedy. The government decided to try a simple but psychological approach. They placed blue LED lights at the ends of platforms. According to researchers, blue light has a calming effect on the human brain. It reduces stress, slows impulsive decision-making, and helps people feel more grounded in the moment. Some even suggest that blue light can interrupt emotional impulses long enough for someone to pause and reconsider their actions. What makes this especially striking is the scale of the impact. At 84%, the drop is enormous. If something as small as changing the color of the lights can save thousands of lives, well, it makes you wonder what other aspects of the environment might be quietly influencing our behavior. This success may inspire other countries to experiment with similar measures. What do you think about this approach and its potential to make a real difference? Scientists may have just shifted our entire understanding of schizophrenia. For decades, the common explanation was simple. People with schizophrenia see or hear things that are not there. Hallucinations, imaginary voices, unexplained sounds. That was the story everyone accepted. But new research is painting a much clearer picture, one that feels far more grounded in how the brain actually works. According to scientists, schizophrenia may be the result of the brain misinterpreting its own internal thoughts and treating them as external voices. It's almost as if the mind is speaking normally inside, but the brain projects those thoughts outwards, making the person believe they're coming from the environment instead of from within. When you think about it from that angle, everything suddenly becomes easier to understand. The voices are not imaginary in the way we once believed. They're real thoughts, but the brain is assigning them to the wrong source. Science keeps growing and reshaping what we know, and this new explanation might be the closest we've come to truly understanding what happens inside the mind. Take a look at this unique dog. It has a black, short coat, a slender body, upright long ears, and a long tail. This creature looks like it could be the cousin of a chupacabra, but it's not. This is what we call a Zolliot-Skuntali. It's a type of dog. The Zolliot-Skuntali, often referred to simply as the Zolo or Mexican hairless dog, is a unique and ancient breed with origins dating back over 3,000 years to pre-Columbian times in Mexico. It's one of the world's oldest and rarest breeds. This particular breed holds significant cultural importance in Mexico. In ancient times, they were revered by the Aztecs and other Mesoamerican civilizations and believed to have spiritual significance and even healing powers. They were often depicted in art and mythology and were considered sacred companions, thought to guide the souls of the dead through the underworld. But in today's world, they're raised as pets and are very loyal companions, known for their intelligence, calm demeanor, and affectionate nature. Zolos make excellent pets for those who appreciate their unique appearance. Would you get one? If you're one of those firm believers in conspiracies, this will make you do a double take. While walking through the woods, someone came across this huge structure. The exterior looked like a mountain, but inside it was an entirely different scene. Massive wooden structures were built within the so-called mountain, revealing it as a hollow structure filled with wooden bricks. I never thought I'd say these words in my life, but it's a fake mountain. What could have camouflaged this place as a mountain? What was it used for? Is this even real at all? Well, the answers to these questions are simple. We don't know. Until we have more information, we won't be able to confirm or disprove this. But what do you think? This footage was allegedly recorded by a scientist who collected a dead alien specimen for an autopsy. As you can see, it looks lifeless, with its skin being a pinkish hue fading to pale. The creature's very small, about the size of a baby, but it appears to be fully matured. It's missing its arms and has a cut on the side of its head, which seems like a recent injury. Some people claim this is just a hoax, possibly a man-made latex model crafted to look like an alien. They argue that the details are too convenient and the timing suspicious. However, there are others who firmly believe this is the real deal. What do you think? Are we looking at genuine extraterrestrial remains, or is this just another case of a clever fabrication? This video was taken from a security camera set at a road checkpoint in an unnamed location. It shows a dark shadow moving under the barriers, pausing for a moment, and then continuing on. This shadow seems to take calculated steps, almost as if it has a mind of its own. This rules out the idea that it might just be a regular shadow. Considering the footage was taken at night, it raises even more questions. How is there a shadow without a main body in the first place? To this, Aaron has a simple answer. It's a shadow creature. Given how the shadow moves with purpose and intelligence, I'm tempted to believe this is true. Obviously, Julius objects. He thinks it's edited footage, but then again, he thinks all such clips are. What do you guys think, though? A sign of the supernatural for you, or an attempt by ordinary men to mislead the masses? Let's hear your thoughts. Most people believe that when someone dies, their spirit lingers around their loved ones before crossing over to another world. This belief was particularly strong for one family who had just lost their beloved grandpa. After his passing, the family began experiencing strange occurrences in their home. The most unsettling event was captured on camera. In the middle of the night, the deceased's granddaughter was sleeping in a room when a white figure entered. The figure stood over her for a moment before disappearing. Remarkably, the family cat also noticed the presence, climbing on top of the girl as if to protect her. When the family reviewed the footage, they were convinced it was the grandfather making one last visit to say goodbye. The room felt colder than usual, and the cat's unusual behavior only added to the family's conviction. Could it be a loving farewell from the afterlife, or is there a more rational explanation for this ghostly figure? Let us know in the comments. Dolphins are such majestic creatures that coming across them in the ocean is like seeing a creature in a fairy tale. I know that's a bit of an exaggeration, but who doesn't like dolphins? Someone shared this footage they took while on a boat exploring the ocean. You know, those vacation things people like to do. While on this boat, they saw a dolphin swimming from a distance. The fish would jump out of the water and dive right back in with such grace. It was such a surreal moment until they noticed that there was another creature swimming alongside the dolphin. This creature had a fish-like body, but with a pair of human-like hands and a head. When it jumped out of the water, it would move its hands from the sides and join them together to dive into the water. Clearly, this couldn't be a fish, but it couldn't be human as well, unless it was a being with both human and aquatic characteristics. Do you know any beings that fit that bill? Yes, the merfolk. Does this prove they're real once and for all? Well, we'll let you decide that. Two men were out in the woods one night when they came across this intriguing sight. It appears to be a mound covered in moss with a hatch on top. Curiously, they opened the hatch, which led them into a chamber with what looked like a pool of water in it and a tunnel on the side. They decided to explore the tunnel, but it seems they could not get to the end. Well, at least in the footage they didn't. They followed the tunnel path, crouching as they walked through the tunnel, and it was not big enough to stand upright. The walls were damp and the air felt musty, suggesting it had been undisturbed for a long time. The tunnel seemed to stretch endlessly into the darkness, and one can only imagine what might lie at the end. Was it an old, forgotten hideout, a natural cave system, or perhaps something more mysterious? Kindly share your thoughts. Do you believe in demons? Wait, is that a strange question to start the day's episode with? Well, let's watch our first clip and then we'll understand my question. I'm not exactly sure where this is, but in the clip we see a man moving through some bushes where out of nowhere a dark shadow comes out. And well, I'm not exactly sure what it does, but it appears to jump onto the man and then disappear into the bushes. I want to call this a shadow creature, but Aaron, our in-house conspiracy theorist and all things paranormal, believes this might actually be a demon. Looking at it, I get why he thinks that, but while I love all things otherworldly and paranormal, this just feels sus. I can't place my finger on it, but that's how I feel looking at it. A closer look at the clip and you'll realize that there appears to be men in white protective suits. A commentator on the original post had this to say: "If you ask me, he's onto something there. If it's indeed a murder site, perhaps we may be looking at a demonic entity responsible for the deaths, or one that's manifested from the deaths." If anyone told me I'd start an episode with a clip like this, I would have laughed, but here it is. The question on everyone's mind is this: what exactly are we looking at? Do you believe in coincidence? Because the next footage is about to blow your mind.
Oh my god.
Do it.
Don't!
Prove
I'm
it.
at work.
Prove it.
In the video, a man behind the camera tells a woman to do it. We don't know what he's referring to until she raises her hands in the air. At that exact moment, lightning strikes the spot where her fingers point in the sky. The man's reaction is one of pure astonishment as he captures the event with shaky hands. Even the woman appears to be in disbelief, looking at her hands and then back at the sky as if questioning her newfound powers. The timing is impeccable, making it hard to dismiss as mere coincidence. Was it just a coincidence, or did we just witness a real-life storm?
Prove
I'm
it.
at work.
Prove it.
A tranquil hike through the woods took an ominous turn for an unsuspecting couple. At first, they dismissed the occasional crack of a twig or rustle of leaves as simply the sounds of nature. But a persistent, deliberate presence made the hairs on the back of their necks stand on end. Something, or someone, was out there, carefully tracking their movements through the dense foliage. They strained to catch a glimpse, but the thick trees and bush obscured their view. The couple could only make out occasional flashes of movement, too large and purposeful to be a small forest creature. A cold trickle of fear ran down their spines. Just an animal, or something much more mysterious, even sinister? Occasionally a pair of eyes pop up, and the man says, "I see you," which makes whatever it is retreat.
I see you. Those eyes are wide, too.
Their imaginations ran wild. Could this be the legendary Sasquatch pursuing them, or some other cryptid, an undiscovered species perhaps? The thought of being stalked by an unknown entity raises the anxiety to a fever pitch as they tried to discern what manner of being was trailing them. The couple quickened their pace, desperate to escape the trees and the unseen watcher within. The video was uploaded, so it's safe to say they escaped, but what could have been stalking them? I think they've got to be wolves, but what do you guys think? Look at this beautiful little fella, a fish swimming gracefully in the shallow water, and it almost looks like it has blue wings. This stunning creature is known as the bluefin gurnard. Its vibrant, wing-like wings are not only eye-catching but also serve as an important purpose. When these fins are spread out, they resemble wings, giving the fish its unique appearance. The bluefin gurnard uses these fins to scare off predators and to stir up the sand on the ocean floor as it hunts for food. This next footage was taken after a heavy rainfall, and it's got everyone talking. A man was checking on his farm, wading through the muddy ground covered with plants and roots, when something unusual caught his attention. He used a stick to tap the roots, and suddenly they moved. Did you catch that? The roots actually shifted as if they were alive. He even threw the stick further, and whether it landed, the same thing happened. The roots moved again. It's bizarre, like the ground itself is responding. Could this be some kind of natural phenomenon, or is there something more mysterious at play here? What do you think? A woman discovers something on Instagram that will blow your mind and explain why there's a lot of conflict of interest on social media. Take a look.
This is the most insane example of how everyone is experiencing completely different social medias at the exact same time. Like, this video, my boyfriend said he'd be over by 3 after golfing, and like, it's just her every half an hour taking a video saying, oh, he's still not here, and it gets to like 5 or 6 p.m. and he's still not here, okay? I opened the comments of this video, and kind of as I expected, everyone was saying, oh, that's really rude, it's the disregard of her time, I don't like him, did he communicate with you? If not, then that's a red flag. Okay, fair enough, you know. I send this video to my boyfriend who was sat next to me, and then I said to my boyfriend, lol, look at the comments. Bear in mind, these comments were coming up at the top of the list, so as soon as you open the comments, these are the ones that came up for me. At the same time, on the same video, or you could get your own hobby instead of waiting around for him. Like, God forbid he has a good time, he meant before 3 a.m, he's ahead of schedule. No fucking wonder we're all so divided when you can look at the same comments on the same video and it'll change them based on who you are, and I presume based on like other activity in the app. Like, because people look at the fucking comments of a video to gain perspective and see how everyone feels about that video. Like, I do that, I think everyone does that. So if we're looking at it from 2 completely different angles, and the only thing that I can assume really that's that different about our interactions with Instagram is that he's a guy and I'm a girl, and so obviously these are all like on his side and all of mine were on her side.
How is that possible? The top comment she saw on the video from her account was different from the top comment her boyfriend was seeing on the same video but on his account. This practice means that users are continually fed content that reinforces their existing ideologies, creating echo chambers and limiting exposure to diverse perspectives. This disturbing realization highlights the manipulative potential of social media algorithms. How do you feel about this? Do you think social media companies exploit this to control and direct our thinking processes, or are we just making a fuss over nothing? Please share your thoughts. This footage was shared from Turkey. After an earthquake, someone captured strange lights in the sky. Take a look.
Ne var rengi öyle? He? Niye kuşlar altın gibi parlıyor?
Beyaz.
Many lights were hovering like a swarm of birds. The lights moved in an erratic pattern, unlike anything seen before. Some in the paranormal community suggest they could be drones. Others speculated it could be volcanic reaction. While one commenter mentioned they had seen it before but couldn't explain it either. Another commenter suggested that this could be the spirits of the dead floating up there. I guess it does look like it, but is it though? The light's mysterious origin and purpose continue to baffle viewers. Everyone's waiting for answers, but without some more information, it's going to be more of an intelligent guess than an answer. Before we move on to the next one, do you think this is a natural phenomenon or do you suspect something more supernatural? Please share your thoughts.
Ne var rengi öyle? He? Niye kuşlar altın gibi parlıyor? Beyaz.
Okay, where is this car that's reflecting on this Boston Pizza window? It's a Corvette C8. I seriously don't see that car anywhere.
A man was in the parking lot of a strip mall with different shops and something strange caught his eye. As he looked at the window of the Boston Pizza Palace, he noticed the reflection of an orange sports car. The car was clearly visible in the glass, like it was parked right there in front of the building. But here's where it gets weird. As he panned the camera around to check out the parking lot, there was no sign of an orange sports car anywhere. Not even a single sports car in sight, let alone one that could cast that kind of reflection. What's going on here? Is this a case of a matrix glitch where reality itself seems to bend and warp in ways we can't explain, or is there some other explanation that we're missing?
Okay, where is this car that's reflecting on this Boston Pizza window? It's a Corvette C8. I seriously don't see that car anywhere.
Now, still on the topic of aircraft, here's a chilling call that came through a plane's radio. Take a listen.
Approach 8002. 8002, road. My co-pilot just ran out the back of the plane. He just did what now? He just ran out the back of the plane. So you don't have a co-pilot on, you said? No, he just jumped out the back of the plane. Right. Would you like me to circle where he left at? Say that again? Would you like me to circle where he got out at, or you got me on track? We still have you on track. Did you need something else? No, the dude literally jumped out the back of the plane without a parachute. Did you need to do something else, circle or something? Or? No, I need to land. I'm just making you aware you're going to have a dead body out where I just called you at. He just jumped out the back of the plane. You're right. Did it continue on you heading 050? 0500.
The pilot reported something truly bizarre. His co-pilot suddenly got up from his seat and without warning ran to the back of the plane without a parachute. The urgency and confusion in the pilot's voice made it clear that this was completely unexpected. So it's strange and unnerving. Why would someone suddenly abandon their post like that, especially without any safety gear? What could have compelled the co-pilot to make such a rash decision in mid-flight? Was it fear, panic, or could there be something more mysterious at play here?
My co-pilot just ran out the back of the plane. He just did what now? He just ran out the back of the plane.
When it comes to road construction, engineers must use strong materials that can withstand the pressure from huge and heavy vehicles. So they use stones, bricks, and the rest. So imagine my surprise when I came across this footage.
In Chicago right now, and I look over at this street that's getting tore up right now, and I'm like, oh, cool, pavers were once underneath this road. No, bro, this is wood. This street in Chicago was like wood pavers. I have never in my life seen this before. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know this existed. But no, I mean, look at this. It's all...
A man walking through Chicago came across this road. When he looked on the ground, there was what looked like bricks, but as he got closer, he found out that they weren't bricks, but wood. The street was made of wood. How is this even possible for all those years? So I looked at the comments section and some people did confirm it. One person said Wooden Alley is a historical woodblock paved road connecting Astor Street and State Street in the near North Side neighborhood of Chicago, Illinois. The alley is 530 feet, 160 meters long, and composed of wooden blocks roughly 6 to 10 inches, 150 to 250 millimeters long, and 4 inches, 100 millimeter wide. Interesting, wouldn't you agree?
In Chicago was like wood pavers. I have never in my life seen this before. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know this existed. But no, I mean, look at this. It's all, you can see like the wood dust underneath it. Somebody hook me up with some knowledge about this because I am shook and fascinated.
Imagine coming home after a long day, eager to relax, only to find this bizarre-looking thing on your door.
I'm scared.
I know if I was the one who saw this, there'd be no evidence left for a video. It's been a while, but we bring back the bonus segment where you get to tell us what we are looking at and give us one fact in the comments section in exchange for your few seconds of fame on the channel. The only thing is, today we chose a rather unusual footage for our segment. I do have absolute faith in you though. I know you guys can find out what this is. Just tell me its name and one fact about it, starting with the word bonus written in caps so I can easily find it. May the best man, slime, win. Next, we set our gaze on Mexico in the year 2021. You see it too, don't you? It appears to be some black craft or structure capable of levitating. The individuals filming were in their cars when they noticed the strange object in the sky. Seeing it, they then decided to film. And it's not one person filming, but multiple individuals, which is meant to allude to the fact that this is genuine. Let's assume it is genuine for one moment. What do you think this is? Aaron believes it's some sort of alien scouting ship searching through our atmosphere. Without bringing Julius into the equation, a part of me thinks aliens won't be that reckless in blowing their cover. Aaron is, however, still insisting that this has to be an alien craft, either that or a military craft being tested. My stance on both possibilities remain to be seen. What do you guys think? Over the years, there have been numerous reports of children mysteriously going missing at Disneyland. Recently, I came across a video on TikTok that might shed some light on these incidents. Take a look. In the footage, someone presses a button on the wall and a portion of the tiled floor slides open, revealing a staircase leading underground. When the button is pressed again, the floor closes up, seamlessly blending back into its surroundings. Intrigued by this, I delved into the comments section and found an interesting discussion. Someone asked me where this footage was filmed, and the poster claimed it was in one of the bathrooms at Disneyland. Rumors suggest that this secret staircase might be how children are being taken when parents momentarily lose sight of them, only to find them missing moments later. Naturally, many others were skeptical. What do you think of this? Is this really in Disneyland? Did you see the shoe rack too? Anyway, if anyone has more information or can confirm this, please share your insights in the comments section. Footage has emerged showing a huge patch of clouds floating unusually close to the ground, right above the water. It looked as though someone on a boat could reach up and touch it. This cloud not only floated at an oddly low altitude, but also had a peculiar shape. At one point, part of the cloud shot out, changing its shape dramatically. While clouds naturally move and change shape, this seemed different. Now, I don't know how this is possible because clouds are typically high up in the sky. Some observers have suggested that this might be evidence of artificial clouds created by humans, possibly for weather modification purposes. There's a growing body of speculation around cloud seeding and other geoengineering techniques that could explain such anomalies. On the other hand, conspiracy theorists have long positioned that unusual clouds could be cloaked UFOs, while advanced technology to disguise themselves. The erratic movement and shape-shifting characteristics of this cloud seem to lend some credence to these theories. Others might argue that this is simply a rare but natural atmospheric phenomenon, perhaps involving temperature inversions or unique weather patterns that we don't fully understand. What do you think is going on here? Tell me, do you see anything strange about this clip? There appears to be a triangular shape and a ring of light around the sun. The one who took the clip was confused and wondered what could be causing this strange thing he was seeing. He uploaded it to one of the paranormal platforms we're on, and once it was there, everyone had something to say. A number of individuals in the community thought this had to be evidence of a cloaked UFO in our skies. The triangular outline in the sky, as well as the ring of light, was to them more than enough proof that there was a UFO hiding that was being exposed by the sun. Now, when I saw this, I looked at the clip several times and thought it might make sense. I finally said to myself that this was evidence of UFO activity that no one could dispute. I should have known better than to say that with Julius our science was around. Like Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory, he just had to chip in his thoughts afterwards. According to him, this could be the result of converging chemtrails left behind by two aircraft. This, according to him, could create the illusion we are seeing. For those unfamiliar with the term, planes typically leave behind white trails called contrails as their hot exhaust gases mix with the cold air. These trails are mostly made of water vapor that freezes in ice crystals. They're not always visible, but when this happens near the sun, the bright light can make it more noticeable and might even create interesting visual effects like a halo or glare, making the contrails seem more prominent or dramatic. This, according to him, might be what we are seeing. But that's not dramatic enough for me. A part of me thinks there might be alien activity going on there. You've seen the clip. What do you think? What you're seeing here are known as iridescent clouds, a rare and breathtaking phenomena that looks like it's straight out of a fantasy movie. Iridescent clouds are formed when tiny water droplets or ice crystals in the cloud scatter and diffract light, creating a stunning array of colors that shimmer and change as the clouds move. The result is a sky painted with hues of pink, green, purple, and blue, often appearing in soft pastel shades. It's like nature's very own light show. These clouds are most commonly seen near the sun, often around cumulus or lenticular clouds, and they're best viewed when the sun is low in the sky, either just after sunrise or just before sunset. The delicate and transient beauty of iridescent cloud makes them a truly magical sight to behold. But here's the catch. Because they're so rare and fleeting, catching a glimpse of iridescent clouds can feel like spotting a unicorn. It requires just the right conditions, the presence of high-altitude clouds, tiny and uniform particles within the clouds, and, of course, the perfect angle of sunlight. Throughout history, iridescent clouds have inspired awe and wonder, often being mistaken for supernatural or mystical events. In some cultures, they're seen as omens or messages from the divine. Today we understand the science behind them, but that doesn't make them any less enchanting.
See if I can find it. There it goes.
It's a government camera.
Yep.
Here, I'll do this, that way you know it's for real.
It is for real. It is.
Yeah. But you can't see, it's a drone.
No, it ain't.
It's a drone, bro. It's a government drone. It's taking pictures of us. It's sending it up the satellite.
It's a cocoon. They's fixing to be an alien jump up out there. Yeah.
When I saw this footage and listened to the voices in the background, it reminded me of Aaron and Julius and their little banters about things like this. In the footage, two men noticed something flying over them. It had an odd shape, and you could hear a loud buzzing sound like the wings of a giant insect. One of the men was convinced that it was a government spy drone capturing footage of them from above. The other, however, thought it was an alien craft. Taking a critical look at it, it looks like it's very light. This makes me feel that it might be nothing more than maybe a balloon or something similar filling the air. There's also the possibility of it being poorly edited footage, but then again, perhaps this is just the skeptic in me. What say you?
But you can't see, it's a drone.
No, it ain't.
It's a drone, bro. It's a government drone. It's taking pictures of us. It's sending it up the satellite.
It's a cocoon. They's fixing to be an alien jump up out there. Yeah.
While walking through the woods at night, someone discovered a peculiar object on a tree. At first it looked like a fungus, but then it started to move in a strange, almost lifelike manner.
It's some weird alien bug.
The way it pulsated and shifted was eerie, as if it had a mind. This unexpected movement left the individual questioning the nature of their find. Could it be an undiscovered species or a rare natural phenomenon? The way it glowed and seemed to breathe added to the mystery. In the quiet of the night, with only the sounds of the forest around, the sight was both mesmerizing and unsettling. How is this even possible? Could it be some type of interdimensional creature? Maybe it's a life form we have yet to classify living right under our noses. If you thought that was a bit confusing, then you should definitely see this next one. What do you think we're looking at? It's hard to say given the unusual appearance of the creature in the clip as well as the quality of the clip. Although a bit divided oftentimes, you can trust the paranormal community to always come up with something. First off, some members of the community thought this was bizarre and possibly mutated snake. They were sure that the creature we are seeing was a snake with horns. This was very interesting, but also a bit of a stretch. But when you have to deal with skinwalkers and Bigfoots, a snake with horns shouldn't be the biggest of your issues, right? Well, let's just say it felt off to me and some members of the community. We did some further analysis and settled on the fact that this could be a snake that's eaten a frog or bird. What we perceive as horns may be nothing more than the back legs of a frog or the wings of a bird. But then again, none of this is confirmed. We're only speculating based on what we see. What's your take, though? A snake from the nether realm or a very ordinary snake trying to chow down a huge meal? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think your response would be if aliens were to climb onto your roof? Well, the individual in the next clip I'm about to show you thought standing still and recording was the best decision. Take a look. The individual recording believes that aliens made their way to his property. For some funny reason, they chose to move around on the roof of this structure. We don't get to see a face, but the body structure and movement are far from natural, which is the reason for him stating that this has got to be an alien. I was sold on this, well, not completely, just a little, until I saw his comment under the original post. This has me thinking we could be looking at a human pretending to be an alien and that this was probably an attempt to go viral. What do you think? Locals in a remote area were out one night when they came across something that left them completely stunned.
Olha, tá vendo aí, Drayton? Tem gente que não acredita não numa porra dessa, olha. E tá se mexendo, olha. Misericórdia. Como é que pode uma porra dessa?
It was a floating ball of fire hovering eerily above the ground. None of them could explain how it got there or where it had come from. The orbs of flames just there, suspended in the air, flickering ominously as if it had a mind of its own. The sight of it was mesmerizing, yet terrifying. They were all too frightened to get any closer to it. The way it floated was very haunting, but what could this be or mean? Some of the locals say it might be a fire deity being sent to deliver some sort of message or warning, but no one knows for sure what it could really be. What are your thoughts on this?
Olha, tá vendo aí, Drayton? Tem gente que não acredita não numa porra dessa, olha. E tá se mexendo, olha. Misericórdia. Como é que pode uma porra dessa?
From all that we hear about Bigfoot, they're believed to be very strong creatures capable of tearing large trees apart. But imagine a Bigfoot coming up against a bull. Who do you think would win? Before you answer, take a look at this footage first. A farmer carved a Bigfoot silhouette on a metal sheet and placed it on the fence of his bull farm. One bull walked over to the Bigfoot cutout and used its horns to tear it apart with much aggression, as if it had a grudge against Bigfoot. The bull's raw power and determination were on full display. Now imagine if this was the real thing. Who do you think would win? Both creatures possess brutal strength and aggression, making this a hypothetical battle for the ages. On one side, we have the mysterious and elusive Bigfoot, known for its immense power, and on the other, the bull is a symbol of raw strength and tenacity. Who would you place your bet on? While out at sea, a fisherman noticed something in the water with glowing eyes staring right at him. Intrigued and a bit unnerved, he threw a small fish into the water, but the creature didn't budge. This behavior was odd since he knew that crocodiles or alligators do not live in salty water. As the fisherman continued to watch, the creature remained still, its glowing eyes reflecting the moonlight in an almost hypnotic manner. He captured the eerie scene on his phone, and boy, are we glad he did. It adds some authenticity to his experience and narration. The footage shows the glowing eyes in stark contrast to the dark, choppy water, creating a hauntingly beautiful visual. As beautiful as it might be, there's one question that needs answering. What could this creature be? The ocean is vast and full of mysteries, and sightings like these often leave more questions than answers. Some viewers speculated it might be a bioluminescent sea creature, while others leaned toward more fantastical explanations, such as a sea monster or an alien life form. What do you think? There are countless conspiracies about UFOs using cloaking devices to blend in with our clouds. Well, take a look at this footage by an unsuspecting man.
Oh yeah, look at this. This is cool. There's the spaceship, you see it? It's right there. Yes, it is. I guarantee it, Veronica. Look at it. No, that's what me. Look at it.
In the sky, there was a craft that seemed almost invisible, perfectly blending in with the clouds. It was triangular in shape, nearly undetectable, until it started moving. As it shifted, you could see lights beneath it, revealing the craft's presence. This particular craft is believed to be the TR-3B, a highly secretive and rumored vehicle. But what's even more shocking than the footage itself was the reaction in the comments section. Many viewers suggested that this craft isn't extraterrestrial at all, but rather advanced human-made technology that is being kept hidden from the public. Others speculated that it was created using both human and alien technology. So could this mean that the UFOs we see might actually be the result of human engineering, or at least involving some level of human involvement? If so, what else is being kept from us?
I guarantee it, Veronica. Look at it. No, that's what me. Look at it.
The rate at which skinwalker sightings are becoming more common is truly alarming. Unless, of course, you're a skinwalker enthusiast and are looking to see one for yourself.
What the?
In this footage, a man was driving down a secluded path through the woods when something shocking happened. The woods on the side of the road were on higher ground, and suddenly a figure, what looked like a man, came rolling down the slope and fell right in front of the car. But what happened next is almost beyond belief. As the figure stood up, it wasn't a man anymore. It had transformed into an animal, specifically a deer. The man had somehow turned into a deer right before the driver's eyes, and then the deer bolted off into the nearby woods. What in the world just happened?
What the?
This next clip was shared online by a Russian hiker, and it shows an intriguing encounter in the woods. While hiking, he noticed a creature walking ahead of him. The creature had brown fur, stood about 8 to 9 feet tall, and had long arms that extended slightly below the knees. As it took long strides, its arms swung in a relaxed manner, seemingly unaware of the man observing it. The hiker, keeping a safe distance, managed to capture several minutes of this encounter on his phone. The creature's movements were fluid and natural, adding to the authenticity of the sighting. The video quickly went viral, drawing attention from Bigfoot enthusiasts and skeptics alike. We all know what this creature is believed to be: a Bigfoot. Of all the footage I've seen, this seems like the one of the closest glimpses of the creature. But what do you think? Could this be genuine footage of the elusive Bigfoot, or is it just another hoax? If you've been with us for a while, then you've probably seen some of the strange finds on Google Maps and Google Earth. Although we've seen and reported on a number of these finds, this next one takes the trump card. A man uploaded this clip, and in it we see him going through the app until he settles on a location. He zooms in to reveal a strange landmark, which turns out to be some secret hidden facility. After some clicks, we're introduced to a nighttime view where we see the facility in its full glory. Not only that, but we also see a machine shooting a laser into the sky. This is highly unusual and strange. Without having answers of his own, the individual posted this in the paranormal community, hoping someone could help him. We don't fully understand what's going on, but some in the community think this might be a secret research facility. Others think the USA might be using this device to try and break the sky, which brings about the firmament theory. But without going into all that, what do you guys think is going on here? Do you think that's truly a facility out there doing this, or is this an elaborate hoax designed to mislead us? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments section, as we'd really love to know. This next footage was taken back in 2011 in Russia. A man was out hiking in the woods when he stumbled upon something truly remarkable. Walking among the trees was a huge creature covered in brown fur from head to toe. It stood about 8 feet tall with massive muscles that were clearly visible even under its thick coat. The creature swung its very long arms as it took huge strides through the forest, moving with an unexpected grace for something so large. The hiker managed to capture a few minutes of this extraordinary sight before the clip ended. Could this be true proof that Bigfoot is actually out there? After all, the figure matches many descriptions from eyewitnesses over the years: towering height, immense strength, and a covering of dark fur. The long arms and fluid motion are also consistent with previous reports and alleged sightings. Julius argues that this is a person in a costume, but the sheer size and natural movement of the creature makes this explanation less likely. Aaron believes that Julius lost this round and that the paranormal allegiance, which is a name he gave to all believers in the paranormal, has won. What say you? This footage was taken on Mount Athos by a man who was up there hiking. For those unfamiliar with it, Mount Athos, also known as the Holy Mountain, is a significant spiritual and monastic center located on the peninsula in northern Greece. People usually go there to pray and seek spiritual guidance, so I'm guessing this is how this footage was taken. From a distance, you can see a hazy figure that has a rainbow around it. That is believed to be the invisible monk of Mount Athos. Legend has it that an unnamed monk who had lived a pure and holy life and was dedicated to asceticism and prayer was rewarded with invisibility and would only appear to those in need of spiritual guidance. Could it be that he'd come to fulfill the need of that man filming that he was not aware of? While we think of that, Julius believes this clip is edited. Now, Julius always has this stance when it comes to these kinds of videos, but could he be wrong today? Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comments section below. There are stories of how ancient floods destroyed advanced civilizations, forcing humans to start anew. These theories often stem from various hieroglyphs found in historical places, from giant structures to portal-like formations. These ancient carvings depict scenes that are both fascinating and puzzling. What do these images mean? It cannot just be imagination if these drawings and paintings show similar themes from different parts of the world. Some suggest these depictions are evidence of ancient visitors from other planets, while others argue that they're symbolic representations of natural phenomena or spiritual beliefs. Archaeologists and historians have long debated the meanings behind these drawings. Some believe they represent the technological prowess of ancient civilizations, suggesting that humanity once possessed advanced knowledge and capabilities. The images of crafts and giant humans found in disparate locations around the globe hint at a shared heritage or knowledge. So what do you think? Are these hieroglyphs evidence of a forgotten advanced civilization, or are they merely myth and legend? Speaking of Bigfoot, this elusive creature has been a subject of curiosity for years. The idea of Bigfoot fighting a bull might be thrilling, but it would only be possible if the creature was real. Someone shared this intriguing image online. While he was out in the mountains, he felt like something was staring at him. When he looked back, he saw this creature hiding behind a large rock. The creature was dark, with only its head sticking out from behind the rock. It didn't look human and had an animalistic appearance, which led him to believe it was Bigfoot. The footage has sparked a heated debate. On one hand, believers see this as compelling evidence that Bigfoot exists and is out hiding in remote areas. On the other hand, skeptics argue that this could easily be a hoax. The figure might be a person in a costume or simply a play of shadows and light, creating an illusion of a creature. With today's technology, editing and creating such videos has become easier, leading many to doubt the authenticity of such sightings. So what do you think? Is this proof that the elusive Bigfoot is indeed real and hiding out there, or is it all just a hoax fueled by someone's wild imagination? Share your thoughts and theories. We've always said that most ghosts stay where they died or were murdered. Well, if that's true, have you ever thought of what happens to those who died in an ambulance? Well, this next clip has answers.
Like, I ain't never experienced nothing like this. So as we driving back to base, I swear I seen a face in the rearview mirror. Like,
send somebody as soon as you can.
I need to turn this engine off though, cause like we're gonna be stranded out here.
Yeah, as soon as possible.
Oh, shit.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if you see it, but can y'all see that back door? Like, it just, oh shit. Like, it just flew open, like, can y'all, oh. Nah, what the what was that? Can y'all see it? Nah, hell no, fuck that, nah.
In the clip, we see a paramedic who appears shaken from seeing something terrifying. Given the nature of their work, you might think he saw something while in the line of duty. Once he starts talking, however, we realize that's not the case. According to him, while driving, he saw a face in his rearview mirror that made him pause. The face scared him so much that he dropped down from the ambulance. Now, this was not the face of a person on board. It was the face of a suspected paranormal, maybe a ghost. While recording, he moves to the ambulance and hears a voice coming from within it. It sounds like the voice of some sort of ghost or paranormal. He then hears a bang and then runs off. Once he's at a safe distance from the vehicle, he mentions that there's actually someone or something in the back, and if you look closely, you might see it. The clip ends with him running off, and I know what you're all thinking. How do we know this is real? Well, there's no definite way that we can know, but think of this. He's recording this in his uniform with a company vehicle. He wouldn't risk his job by doing something like that unless the vehicle and uniform were rented, which would cost more than this video is worth. Other health professionals commented on the original post, and they stated that they have had similar experiences. While we can't verify their claims, I have heard many health workers say things like this. So what do you guys think though? Let us know in the comments section.
No, hey, on it quick.
Now this is why you should not mess with Ouija boards. Two guys had a sleepover, and before they retired to bed, they played with a Ouija board. Later that night, one of them woke up to thumping sounds coming from the wall.
You're recording me for. You're here, listen.
So he woke his friend up. He then walked up to his closet to check, but there was nothing there, even though the sound persisted. Next, he opened another door that led to what looked like an empty room. However, in the empty room, there was a dark shadow by the wall. As soon as he saw it, he shut the door immediately. Could it be that the boys accidentally summoned a ghost or spirit while playing with the Ouija board? Or are they trying to mislead us for their 5 minutes of fame? Share your thoughts. Have you seen this? The world's first bioprocessor uses 16 human brain organoids for 1 million times less power consumption than a digital chip. What does this mean? Well, for starters, this bioprocessor is like a computer chip, but is made of human brain tissue made from a lab that had 16 brain organoids. These organoids are connected to communication channels known as electrodes, and through that, they process data. But unlike computer chips, this bioprocessor uses less power, in fact, 1 million times less. For now, they last for 100 days. If we know anything about scientists, it's that this wouldn't cut it. I know it's exciting, but it gives me Matrix vibes and has me a little worried and on edge. See what we're able to do with our current processors. Imagine what these could do once they are working optimally. As exciting as that can be, I have one fear. What if we lose control? What if these things evolve beyond us? What then happens to us? You know what? Oh, let's not go there. I wouldn't want to seem like the pessimistic one, but think about it. Did you know each human sperm cell packs about 37.5 megabyte of data? That's like a tiny biological USB stick. Considering the average ejaculation contains around 450 million sperm, that's a whopping 16 terabyte of data, enough to fill numerous hard drives. Each sperm carries half the genetic information needed to create a new human. When DNA sequences are digitalized, each sperm's DNA equates to 37.5 megabyte. Multiply that by 450 million and you get an impressive 16 terabyte of genetic information. This fact raises intriguing questions about the potential of biological data storage and the future of bioinformatics. Perhaps men ought to be conservative about their sperm and not waste it, if you know what I mean. Julius shared this fascinating footage with me, and at first I found it a bit perplexing. The video shows two distinct lights hovering above the sea, with one seemingly positioned on the water's surface and the other in the sky. As it was sundown, it was challenging to determine what we were precisely looking at. The light in the sky resembled a helicopter, and Julius mentioned that the one on the water's surface could be a speedboat. The lights appeared to be moving in a synchronized manner, and there seemed to be some distance between them. The video quality made it difficult to make clear distinctions, but the sight was definitely intriguing. I'm curious to see everyone's thoughts on what this mysterious sighting could be. Cemeteries have some of the weirdest vibes. They're places where the dead are laid to rest, so it's no surprise that stories of ghost sightings are often hard to ignore. I came across footage from a man who was driving by a cemetery when he noticed something strange and decided to film it. In the distance, there was a bright white light moving across the cemetery grounds, but this wasn't just any light. It almost resembled a humanoid figure, silently gliding through the gravestones as if it was minding its own business. The eerie glow and the way it moved caught the man's attention immediately. He couldn't believe what he was seeing, so he continued to film, hoping to capture more. The figure seemed almost ethereal, too divine to be an illusion, yet too mysterious to be easily explained. Did this man just capture a ghost on camera, or could it be something else entirely? Kindly share your thoughts. Now, when it comes to the solar system or even the universe in general, it's a well-established fact that we have just one sun. However, during a mesmerizing sunset view, someone captured something utterly shocking. In the sky, alongside the familiar glow of our sun, there were two additional suns visible, one on the far left and the other on the far right. This bewildering sight left many scratching their heads and questioning the laws of nature. How could there be two suns? Some suggested it might be a glitch in the camera or the result of unusual atmospheric conditions. Others pondered more fantastical explanations, invoking the possibility of parallel dimensions or extraterrestrial phenomenon. But amidst the uncertainty, one thing remained clear. This was an extraordinary sight that defied conventional understanding. What do you think might explain the presence of these twin suns in the sky? Let us know in the comments section. A new Turkish surgery procedure is causing a lot of buzz online. A man who underwent the procedure appears to look like 2 or 3 decades younger. This transformation is so dramatic that some people believe it's not the same person. Others think it might be a father and son duo. The before and after photos are astounding, showing a significant reduction in wrinkles, age spots, and sagging skin. Would you be willing to try out a procedure to look decades younger? Also, what do you think? Same person, or is someone trying to pull a fast one on us? We've come across many innovative technological inventions over the years, some of which have been groundbreaking, while others are downright disturbing. Recently, I came across something that might just blow your mind.
Image of a giraffe that the computer has never seen. It's only looking at the fMRI data, and this is what the computer thinks the human is seeing. Yeah. But of course, it goes further. So in this one, they said, can they understand the inner monologue, the things you're saying to yourself? So they had people watch a video and just narrate what was going on in the video in their mind. So there's a woman, she gets hit in the back, she falls over. This is what the computer reconstructed the person thinking. See a girl, looks just like me, get hit in the back, and then she is knocked off. So our thoughts are starting to be decoded.
Scientists have discovered that our thoughts and dreams can now be decoded. In other words, a computer can literally read your mind and even see your dreams. Think about that for a moment. A machine that can tap into the deepest corners of your mind and reveal what's inside. How crazy is that? Not everyone believes that this is true. Take a look at this comment from the original post. Simply put, our technologies are not as advanced as the individual presenting in the video is making it out to be. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to this, so it's hard to pick a side. Who do you think might be telling the truth, though?
The person thinking. See a girl, looks just like me, get hit in the back, and then she is knocked off. So our thoughts are starting to be decoded.
Those who believe in the fake moon landing are gonna love this one.
Is anyone able to get to space from going through the firmament?
No one is able to reach space by going through the firmament. The firmament is considered to be a barrier that has never been penetrated by humans, not even in science fiction or NASA's outer space movies.
A woman recently asked Alexa about the firmament, and what she got back was more than just surprising. It was downright chilling. Take a listen. According to Alexa, the firmament is a dome that has never been penetrated by humans. In fact, humans have apparently tried to break through it by shooting high-altitude explosives at it, but nothing has ever gone through. Mind-blowing, right? I don't know what kind of tale this is, but it definitely raises some eyebrows. But here's the thing. This isn't the first time, nor will it be the last, that this supposed dome over the earth has been mentioned. It's actually in the Bible, and more recently, even Ryan Garcia, during one of his outbursts on social media, spoke about this mysterious firmament as well. So what do you think? Is the firmament real, or is this just another elaborate hoax?
No one is able to reach space by going through the firmament. The firmament is considered to be a barrier that has never been penetrated by humans, not even in science fiction or NASA's outer space movies.
Someone allegedly came across this unsettling sight deep in the woods, a massive, otherworldly creature moving on all fours. This entity, with its bark-like texture and towering frame, seemed like it had sprung from a dark fairy tale. I've watched the clip over and over, and that's the best description I could come up with. Is it real, though? My video editor doesn't think so. He believes that whatever that is was created digitally on a PC. He mentions a bunch of things like the frame rate of the object not matching the rest of the clip, as well as color grading and other factors. I don't fully understand it, but I trust Ike, and before you come asking, Ike is the name of the video editor. Why would someone try to mislead us? Hard to tell, but what do you guys think? Is my video editor right, or has any of you encountered a creature that looks like this? Man had been hearing strange noises coming from one of the rooms in his house. He searched everywhere but couldn't find the source of the noise until he stumbled upon a strange structure in one of the rooms. Inside it, a pair of eyes stared back at him. It looked like an owl, but the situation was bizarre. The structure was a hollow pole made of foil, which looked like a good place for a nest. But how did it manage to get inside a house and into that? No one can tell, but I know we will be glad to finally find out. I know I mentioned owl, but what do you think this is? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Here we have another intriguing piece of evidence, a mummified alien creature supposedly retrieved from the Andean mountains in Peru after a UFO landing back in 1974. This video, taken in 2007, shows the same characteristics we've come to associate with alleged alien beings, a large head and small body. The story goes that locals witnessed a UFO landing, a well-known tale among residents. However, the military swiftly intervened, sweeping the incident under the rug and dismissing it as a fabrication to the rest of the world. But it seems not everything was erased. In 2007, researchers discovered that some individuals had arrived at the scene before the military and managed to retrieve the body of a dead alien from the craft. They kept it hidden all these years until the footage surfaced. What do you think about this? Is it possible that the military covered up a genuine UFO encounter? Could this mummified creature be proof of extraterrestrial life, or is it just another elaborate hoax? Back in 1901, some divers were exploring a shipwreck off the coast of Greece. As they sifted through the wreckage, they stumbled upon something truly extraordinary, a strange, wheel-like object. Intrigued, they brought it to the surface and scientists began to examine it. What they discovered left them absolutely stunned. This peculiar artifact turned out to be an ancient computer, now known as the Antikythera mechanism. This 2,000-year-old device was a complex system of gears and wheels used to calculate the cycles of the cosmos. It's often considered the world's first analog computer, capable of predicting astronomical positions and eclipses with remarkable precision. The existence of the Antikythera mechanism raises some fascinating questions about the technological capabilities of ancient civilizations. We often hear about conspiracies suggesting that humanity once reached a peak of technological advancement before experiencing a catastrophic event, a great reset that thrust us back into the Stone Age. Could this ancient computer be proof that such advanced knowledge existed long before we ever imagined? Someone was driving one night when he noticed some lights in the sky. At first, it looked like nothing to be worried about, perhaps just a plane passing by. However, as he continued driving, the lights remained stationary, hovering in the same spot. This was unusual, especially since there was no airport or known flight path in the vicinity. As he drove closer, the lights didn't move, they remained where they were. The lights seemed to belong to one massive craft, yet the craft itself wasn't visible. It seemed to be shrouded by clouds or even fog, creating an eerie and mysterious silhouette against the night sky. So what could this be? Some suggest it might be a secret military aircraft using advanced cloaking technology. Others firmly believe it's evidence of extraterrestrial life visiting our planet under the cover of darkness. Now what about you? What do you think? Now, what do we have here? A strange-looking creature that was found on our shores was seen running toward the water, but what could it be? It appears to have spikes all over its body. As it got closer, the waves came and washed it into the ocean. The creature's movements were swift and almost frantic, as if it were desperate to return to the safety of the water. Its spiky exterior glistened under the sunlight, making it look even more unusual and otherworldly. Does anyone have any idea what it might be? If you do, could you please let us know in the comments? Thank you very much. There have been a lot of archaeological findings of mummies with strange body proportions discovered in different parts of the world. Some people claim that they're merely dolls made from bones, and others believe these mummies are evidence of aliens that once roamed the earth. Take a look at this alien-looking mummy that was retrieved from Peru. This mummy is a tridactyl, meaning it has 3 fingers and toes. It's very small, about the size of a baby, and is almost coiled up like in a fetal position. When you look at the head, it's huge and elongated, with eyes set very far apart. The facial structure is unlike anything seen in typical human mummies, giving it an undeniably otherworldly appearance. Scientists and researchers have been puzzled by such findings. Some argue that these mummies could be the result of genetic anomalies or intentional cranial deformation practices common in ancient cultures. However, the tridactyl nature and peculiar proportions make it challenging to fit these mummies into any known category of human remains. Skeptics suggest these could be an elaborate hoax or ritual artifacts crafted by ancient civilizations, but for those who believe in extraterrestrial life, these mummies are compelling evidence of alien beings visiting or even living on Earth in the distant past. To them, these beings are nothing more than hybrids of aliens and humans. What do you think? Next, I've got something that's gonna blow your mind. Would you look at that? A real-life Pikachu. It's brightly colored yellow with black spots on the tips of its ears and tail. The creature walks on all fours, but it isn't as chubby as Pikachu. This little guy looks like it walked straight out of a Pokemon game and into our world. With its vibrant yellow fur and those distinct black markings, it's easy to see why people are calling it a real-life Pikachu. Nature is full of surprises, and we've seen animals with unusual colorations before, thanks to genetic mutations or selective breeding. There are species of animals, like certain rodents or marsupials, that might develop unique color patterns that resemble our beloved Pikachu. However, the chances of finding a naturally occurring animal with such precise coloring and markings are incredibly slim. So the big question is it real or AI generated? Have you ever heard of a storm chaser? Well, it's quite a unique job, as the name suggests. These are people who seek out dangerous weather, traveling great distances to capture photos and videos of nature's most powerful phenomenon. This particular footage was taken by a storm chaser who traveled to Krakow, Poland to film an approaching storm. He positioned his drone at a higher altitude, ready to capture the storm in all its glory. After the storm passed, he reviewed the footage and discovered something unexpected. A strange, glowing object moved rapidly from one spot to another before vanishing into the water. For someone whose job is to observe weather patterns, finding something like this is indeed odd and worth questioning. According to him, the object moved at a speed of 100 meters per second, extremely fast. Take a look at the footage and tell me what you think this object could be. Is it just a natural phenomenon, an optical illusion, or something more mysterious, like evidence of extraterrestrial activity, or perhaps a top-secret technology being tested? Some things in this world are simply unexplainable, and our next clip may be one of them. If you don't have the stomach for strange things, please move on to the next clip. You have been warned. A man recently shared footage of this strange and disgusting substance falling from his roof. The video provides no context, leaving viewers to speculate wildly about what it could be.
That is... I'm going to show this to everybody.
The thick, reddish substance interspersed with small black entities defies easy explanation. Some commenters suggested it might be a mass of worms, while others thought it could be a nest of earthworms. As interesting as these speculations are, we've no way of confirming or disproving them. Frankly speaking, I can't even send any of the team members to investigate it. Not sure I can pay for the therapy. What do you guys think it is? On our end, we still aren't sure, but Aaron, our in-house conspiracy theorist, says it reminds him of what the night after Taco Bell feels like. Well, not sure why that came to mind, but I'm not explaining what he means. If you know what this might be, please share in the comments section. When I saw this next footage, I was so shocked. Take a look.
Move!
A man found himself stranded on a deserted road in the middle of nowhere. And the reason? There was a pool of water in the middle of the road. Now, this isn't just any ordinary puddle, because what happens next is beyond belief. He decided to throw a bottle into the water, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, a massive crocodile surfaced, wiggling about in the water. A large one at that. The fact that such a massive creature could be lurking in what seemed like just a harmless puddle is truly terrifying. Makes you think twice about crossing any mysterious bodies of water, doesn't it? What would you do if you found yourself in this situation?
Move!
We all know how shadows work. When an object blocks light, it casts its form onto a surface. We all have shadows, right?
Someone explain to me what the fuck this is a shadow of?
Well, a man was out one night when he noticed something strange on the ground. There was a shadow of a long pole, clear as day. But when he looked around, there was nothing that could be casting it. The only pole nearby was several meters away, and it wasn't even close to matching the length or position of the mysterious shadow. So what's happening here? Could this be some sort of glitch in reality, or is there another explanation?
What the fuck? This is a shadow of. There's nothing above me.
I don't know how long this has been coming out of our speakers. I don't know what it's connected to.
Imagine this, a quiet night at home, and then out of nowhere, music starts playing from an unknown speaker installed outside. This was the eerie experience of a man who recently bought a house from the estate of its late owner. One night, the outdoor speaker on the corner of the property began playing a strange old-fashioned tune. The new owner was baffled, not just by the song, but also by the mystery of how the speaker was still functioning or where it was connected. He hadn't set it up, but no one else would seem to have access. It's tempting to conclude the possibility of a paranormal explanation, especially since the previous owner has passed away. Could it be their way of leaving behind a final jam session, or is there a more earthly explanation? Perhaps it's a timer or an overlooked device the previous owner set up and forgot to disable, or it could even be someone nearby controlling the speaker wirelessly. Either way, what do you think?
Jane's tablet is dead, so it shouldn't be doing anything.
I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. I do not do his laundry. I do not help him pay any bills. His job is to provide for his family, so I am not financially contributing to any of the bills.
I've been crying all morning long. My husband told me that I needed to pack my stuff and get the out the house. I literally have nowhere to go.
In the first clip, the woman openly admits that she doesn't contribute to the household in ways traditionally associated with partnership, leaving her husband to take care of himself entirely despite being the provider. In the second clip, her tears reveal the aftermath. Her husband has reached his limit and asked her to leave. Relationships thrive on mutual effort, respect, and understanding. While every couple can define their own roles and responsibilities, it's essential to both partners to feel supported and valued. When one person feels like they're carrying the weight of the relationship alone, resentment can build, leading to cracks in the foundation. Both partners should openly discuss their needs and find ways to support each other, whether it's through shared chores, emotional connection, or other means of contribution. What do you think? Could this relationship have been saved with better communication and balance?
I've been crying all morning long. My husband told me that I needed to pack my stuff and get the out the house.
Next, we've got this clip from a man who was out in the woods during sundown when he started hearing strange noises coming from around him. The area was mostly open, with just a few trees scattered far off in the distance. As he looked toward one of the trees, he noticed something terrifying. A creature with glowing eyes perched on one of the branches. The creature was crouched sideways on the trunk of the tree, almost like it was clinging to the bark. Its appearance was disturbingly human-like, but something about it was off, something unnatural. The man, gripped by fear, quickly fled the scene, not wanting to stick around to find out what it was. When he later posted the footage online, it sparked a flurry of reactions. Many people speculated that this could be the legendary rake, a creature known for its eerie, humanoid appearance and glowing eyes. Some also suspected it might be a skinwalker. Not everyone's buying what he's selling though. Some think it's all made up, while others think he's just trying to scare those who live near him. You've seen the clip, so what do you think? This footage was taken by a man who ventured out one night after a snowstorm. As he walked by an old abandoned graveyard, he noticed a statue in the distance. Even though he was several meters away, something about the statue caught his attention. Pay attention to the clip. He claims that the statue's hands moved. Now, I don't know about you, but when I watched this, I didn't immediately notice anything. But he was adamant that there was movement, and it's one of those things that makes you wonder if your eyes are playing tricks on you, or if there's something more to it. What do you think? Did the statue move, or is this just a case of imagination running wild?
It's been shown that if you have houseplants that have been in your life for even a few months, if you put EEGs on those and then you send the person who takes care of those out of the house, send them some distance away, the moment they come within 2,000 meters or 2 kilometers from the home, the plants all perk up. They can feel the person coming from 2 kilometers away.
Plants are living organisms, and while they don't experience emotions like animals or humans, there's growing evidence that they have some level of awareness and responsiveness to their environment. According to this fascinating claim, plants may even display a connection to their caretakers. This man suggests that when you nurture a plant in your home, it becomes so attuned to you that it can sense when you're nearby, even as far as 2 kilometers away. Some researchers and enthusiasts argue that plants respond to stimuli like touch, sound, and changes in their surroundings in a way that mimics sentience. If this idea holds, it sheds a whole new light on how we treat our green companions. Those of you neglecting your plants might want to rethink that. They're more like quiet, leafy pets.
The moment they come within 2,000 meters or 2 kilometers from the home, the plants all perk up. They can feel the person coming from 2 kilometers away.
It was completely pitch black. I thought, this is a nightmare. This is not happening.
Tiffany O'Brien experienced a truly bizarre and unsettling incident while traveling on an Air Canada flight. After falling asleep during the journey, she woke up to find herself completely alone on the plane, which had already landed and been parked for the night. None of the flight crew or staff had noticed her, leaving her locked inside the aircraft. In her panic, Tiffany texted a friend to explain what had happened. She managed to navigate the dark cabin and made her way to the cockpit, where she found a flashlight. Using it to signal for help, she eventually caught someone's attention and was safely escorted out of the plane. This oversight raised serious questions about airline procedures and passenger safety. Imagine the shock of waking up to such a scenario. What would you do in her situation?
I'm so scared that I'm going to touch something that's wrong, but I knew I had to do something, and I found the flashlight, and I was so happy. That was like the best moment.
Still on strange things in nature, this creature was found washed up on the seashore. As you can see, it has a pair of arms and a fish-like body, but its face looks very alien-like. Unlike typical fish, its body did not have scales. It was smooth and darker in color. Its combination of human-like arms, a fish body, and an alien-like face suggests something out of the ordinary. As usual, speculation is rife. Some people believe it could be a mutated sea creature affected by environmental changes or pollution. Others think it might be an undiscovered marine species that dwell in the unexplored depths of the ocean. There are even those who suggest it could be evidence of extraterrestrial life or a hybrid creature resulting from unknown experiments. What do you think this creature could be? Have you ever seen an ancient Jewish scroll? No? Well, today you're in luck. When he starts taking out the parchment, it looks old and worn out. It doesn't look like anything special, but once he's done unwrapping, we see the scroll in its ancient beauty. Nothing can beat that golden glowing text and the illustration within it. Do we have any Jew or archaeologist here to confirm the authenticity of what we're seeing? If you're here, please let your voices be heard in the comments section, or rather, your texts be seen. Please confirm or disprove this for us. We're very interested and intrigued. This footage is a remarkable glimpse into the inner workings of the human immune system. It shows the process of a T-cell targeting and destroying a cancer cell. In the video, the T-cell, unidentifiable by its yellow pulsing appearance, engages with the larger purple cancer cell. With precision, the T-cell strikes the cancer cell multiple times, delivering lethal signals. Over time, you can see the cancer cell shrink and ultimately die, demonstrating the T-cell's effectiveness in neutralizing threats. This interaction is a cornerstone of immunotherapy research, where scientists aim to harness and amplify the power of T-cells to fight cancer more effectively. It's inspiring to witness how the body's own mechanisms can combat such complex diseases. Wouldn't you agree? Dolphins are undeniably intelligent creatures, and their remarkable cognitive abilities have fascinated scientists for years. What's even more intriguing is the similarity between developing dolphin embryos and human embryos. At the earliest stages of development, dolphin embryos bear a striking resemblance to human embryos, with similar structures before their features diverge. As the dolphin embryos grow, it gradually takes on its distinct aquatic form, developing fins and other adaptations for life in water, while human embryos continue along the path that defies terrestrial mammals. It's fascinating to consider that such a similarity could point to a deeper biological link, potentially explaining why dolphins exhibit traits like problem-solving, social bonding, and even playfulness, which are often associated with human intelligence. Truly fascinating.
Look at that fucking devil, evil face, man. He's coming over like he's got doom and gloom over fucking Leveland. Yeah, he's looking right at us, man.
That shit's fucking crazy. Wait up, let me go.
Doom and loom, I'm telling you, Leveland's been fucking getting fucked this summer. And this is the area where it got fucked the most. But that is nuts. That is like a real life fucking devil face. I'm coming for you.
Still on strange occurrences in the sky, a man captured this striking cloud formation that looks like a giant devil in the sky with a menacing look. Just look at that. The details are eerily uncanny, with what seems to be a face complete with horns and a sinister expression. It's very scary to think about, seeing such an ominous figure looming in the clouds. This phenomena is likely an example of pareidolia, where the human brain perceives familiar patterns such as faces in random or ambiguous visuals. However, it's fascinating how nature can sometimes create these spooky and awe-inspiring sights. Whether you see it as a natural coincidence or something more, it's certainly a chilling and memorable sight.
And this is the area where it got fucked the most. But that is nuts. That is like a real life fucking devil face. I'm coming for you.
Still on the topic of UFOs, we have another intriguing sighting to discuss. Unfortunately, the exact location of this footage was not provided.
Right now! Right now! Right now! What is that? What is that? What is that?
In the clip, a strange light appears in the sky, almost like a burst of energy squirming in the atmosphere with an unusual glow surrounding it. As you watch, the two oddly shaped orbs emerge from this light. I mean, they might not be orbs, but from the distance, that's what they look like. One of the orbs moves to the left and the other to the right. After a brief separation, the orb on the left changes course and follows the one on the right. What adds to the mystery is the apparent intelligence behind the orb's actions. If they were simply random lights or natural occurrences, we wouldn't expect to see such purposeful behavior. This has led to many to conclude that we may indeed be dealing with UFOs. Perhaps they only look like orbs because their lights are that bright. Some even suggested that the bright light is nothing more than a portal through which they came. You've seen the clip too. What do you think?
Right now! Right now! Right now! What is that? What is that? What is that?
Speaking of strange captures, take a look at this one.
Yo, I'm a security guard and I'm doing my checks. What the is this? Alright, that's too much. Clock out.
This clip was uploaded by a woman who ran into an unusual situation while at the post. She was doing her usual rounds at her facility when she noticed that there was what looked like a person, most likely a man, tied to a chair with a cloth over his head. Seeing this supposedly spooked her, and she left the place minding her own business. Now, I get why anyone would mind their own business in a situation like this, but recording your face and putting it online on your personal account isn't exactly minding your own business. It's putting a target on your back. Aaron thinks the whole thing might be a joke or a prank, and quite frankly, I hope so too. But this is the 21st century and anything is possible. What would you have done in her situation, assuming this whole thing is legit?
Alright, that's too much. Clock out.
But when I started walking back, that's when I could see these logs moving.
That tree branch was not there like that.
These logs are huge, and they're crisscrossing them, blocking the path.
This footage comes from a woman who went into the woods at night with her flashlight and camera. Initially, the path seemed clear, but on her way back, she encountered a strange sight. There were large logs crisscrossed on the path she had been taken earlier. These weren't there when she arrived, making her feel uneasy. Trusting her instincts, she quickly left the area. Later, as she reviewed the footage, something chilling caught her attention. Hidden behind a tree was a dark, shadowy figure. Its huge fur-covered legs were partially visible, blending into the darkness of the forest. The woman is convinced that she had an encounter with Bigfoot, and many who have seen the footage agree it's compelling evidence. But skeptics argue it could be a trick of shadow, an animal, or even a prank. What do you think?
It made me nervous because these were big trees and this was a big thing sitting there staring at me.
A homeowner was reviewing his doorbell camera footage when he came across something truly unsettling. In the footage, a dark figure suddenly appeared out of nowhere walking by the front of the house. What makes this even more eerie is that the figure didn't approach the door or attempt to enter the house. It simply appeared for a brief moment, moving across the camera's view, and then vanished just as mysteriously as it appeared. The figure's appearance was so fleeting that it almost seemed like a shadow passing by. But there was no one else around and no other movement that could explain it. Who or what was this figure? Where did it come from? And where did it go? Most alien abduction stories come from decades ago, but a new video making the rounds has brought that fear right into the present. A woman shared an experience that started out like any normal night. She was putting her baby to sleep while her husband stayed in the living room. Everything was calm until her phone buzzed. It was a message from her husband saying there was something inside the house. He claimed it was standing right in front of them, staring straight at them. He tried to grab his phone to take a picture, but the moment he moved, the creature vanished. He described it as pale, with oversized black eyes, a stretched face, and a small mouth. The kind of description you'd expect from old encounter stories, except this happening in their own home, well, that's a different one altogether. And it didn't end there. Later that night, both of them saw something again. A pale figure was standing on the balcony, barely visible in the darkness, but still clear enough to make the heart stop. She shared the story online, and hearing her tell it is genuinely unnerving. If this wasn't a hallucination and not just shadows playing tricks, well, then what exactly stepped into their home that night?
My daughter's dad goes out for a smoke and sits right here. And I go to lay her down. He texts me and he says, "There is something standing in front of me that's like an alien. I don't know what this thing is. It is seeing through me. It's not looking at me, it's looking through me, and it's not making a sound. There's no reflection on its eyes. It's just barely breathing. It has a tiny mouth and huge eyes at the very, very bottom of its face, right above its mouth. So like the lower third, and then just a giant head." There's Merlin. Scared the crap out of me.
Where is he?
Right here. Up here.
Oh, I see. I'm coming that way.
Fine.
And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. Well, we can't wait to receive what you have. I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now do me a favor and share this with everyone you know. Well, share it with people you don't know. I don't care. Just give us the love, man. Give us the love. See you later.